So that is how we demonstrate. Change in quantity supplied and change in supply. What is the key difference between the change in quantity supply and the change in supply? A change in quantity supply, this is a decrease or an increase in quantity supply due to the change in price of commodity only. Other factors such as the state of technology, cost of production, and the climate remain constant. So actually, the change in quantity supplied involve movement along the same supply curve. So the decrease or an increase in quantity supply due to change in the price of the commodity, while the other factors are kept constant like technology and cost of production together with climate, is also actually we refer to as the quantity supply. So normally the quantity supply involves the movement along the supply curve. But also if that is the case, now watch the graph we can demonstrate concerning about the change in quantity supply. So the change in quantity supply involves the movement along the same supply curve. For example, when you sketch out this graph over here, suppose we have the price in the left hand side and we have the quantity in the x-axis, the horizontal line. So suppose we have the price 1, that is P1, and we have also the second price, that is P2, and also we have the quantity, that is Q1, that the first quantity, that is Q1, and also the quantity in another quantity, that is Q2. So whenever there is an increase, whenever there is a change in price level, whenever there is a change in price level from P1 to P2, we observe to see that when the price increases, or in another way, when the price decreases, we observe to see any changes of the quantity that will happen from Q1 to Q4. So the supply curve will be moving upward like that from left to right. So any change of price affects the quantity, and we actually observe to see that when the price increases from P1 to P2, the quantity supply increases from Q1 to Q2, and vice versa is true when the price decreases from P2 to P1. Also, the quantity supply will decline from Q2 to Q1. So in this figure above, any change in price from P1 to P2 results to an increase in the quantity supplied from Q1 to Q2, and the change in price from P2 to P1 results to a decrease in quantity supply from Q1 to Q2. So that is a core effect that can be observed from this kind of graph. So any change of price from P2 to P1 leads to a decrease in price from Q2 to from Q2 to Q1, as you can observe. So after understanding what is very much concerned about the change in quantity supply, we need now to differentiate it with another concept, that is the change in supply. So what is change in supply? This is the increase or decrease in quantity supplied due to change of any factor that rather than price of a commodity. Factor which cause a change in supply may include the climatic condition, the taxation, peace and security, technology, and so forth. Something to note is that under what is known as the change in supply, this involves a shift to a new supply curve. This is quite different from the change in the quantity supply whereby we observe the supply curve to move along the same line, but here now the change in supply involves the shift of new supply curve. So when we try to sketch out a graph, our graph of the change in supply will appear like this. So here we consider only other factors rather than price that affect the change of supply. So when we draw the price level to be constant like that, but also we observe to see, we sketch out the horizontal line from the quantity of X that show the shifting or the movement from the quantity of produce, the quantity that is supplied. So whenever there is any factor that may affect it, can be climatic conditions, to be taxation, we will shift out the supply curve from S1 to S2, as you can observe. Or it may be the causal factor for the shifting of the supply curve, or the decrease of the quantity supply from S2 to S1, or it can be a factor for the increase of supply from S1 to S2. So depending on other factors rather than price, the quantity, the change in supply, or the quantity supply may be affected either by increasing or decreasing. So in this figure here, as you can observe, any change in supply factor, like improvement in technology, can cause a shift in supply curve from S1 to S2, or it can be from S2 to S1 at the same level of price, at the same constant price. Also, a change in another supply factor, like the increase in the cost of production, can cause a shift in the supply curve from S2 to S1, or from S1 to S2, as you can observe. So the two different between the key difference between the change in supply and the change in quantity supply is that the change in supply is actually affected by other factors rather than price, whereby the change in quantity supply is actually the supply is affected by only price and not other factors, because other factors are considered to be constant in one way or another. So that is how we demonstrate out the graph concern about the change in supply.